Hello everyone, I'm Josh Garrett, and in this video we're going to be learning about functions in JavaScript. Firstly, let's understand functions. Imagine you need to add two numbers multiple times in your code. Now you could write the same addition statement over and over, but that would be inefficient. Instead, you can use a function, a reusable block of code that performs a specific task when it's called. But why use functions at all? Why is it necessary? Well, a key principle in programming is try. Don't repeat yourself. Functions help avoid repetition. It keeps your code organized and it makes it easier to modify later. For example, instead of writing this every time, you can just create a function. Now, whenever you need to add two numbers, you reuse the function instead of rewriting the same logic. This is exactly what you're going to be learning in this video. How you can declare a function, how you can call a function, and you're going to learn about parameters and arguments. Firstly, let's learn how to declare a function. A function in JavaScript is created using the function keyword followed by a name to describe its purpose. Then a parenthesis, it's to hold optional parameters, which we'll be learning about later in this video. And thirdly, curly braces. It's to contain the code that actually runs when the function is called. For example, let's just create a simple function that greets the viewer. This function console.logs hello welcome. But if you were to run this code, nothing would output. That is because you haven't called this function. To execute a function, you call it using its name followed by its parenthesis. This outputs hello welcome. Now, as you can see, instead of writing console.log hello welcome, I can simply just write greet parenthesis whenever I need to greet the viewer. But how can you personalize this? You can personalize this using parameters and arguments. Functions become more useful when they accept values. They're called parameters. They're basically an undefined value you add inside the parenthesis when you declare a function, and you assign that value when you call that function. For example, instead of always greeting with hello, we can personalize this message. We'll use the same example, greet person, but inside the parenthesis, we'll add a new parameter, name. Now, console.log hello plus name. So whenever we call this function with the name inside the brackets, it outputs a personalized message. Here, name is the parameter. It's a placeholder in the function definition, and Alice and Bob are arguments, the values that are passed when calling the functions. But what if you don't want to always print the results? What if you want to return the value for later use? Let's say we want to calculate the price, say after tax. Let's create a function, calculate total. Here we are adding two parameters, price and tax rate, and we're returning price plus price times tax rate. Here we're adding a variable, total price, and assigning it to the function and adding some parameters. Here calculate total computes the total, and we store the result in a variable for future use. Now, more importantly, what if a user forgets to provide an argument? Now let's go back to our greet user example. What if a user forgets to provide an argument? Well, that's where default parameters come into play. You can simply assign the value in the function declaration itself. Here, name is equal to guest. So, when I call the function and I don't put in any argument, it'll simply output the default value, welcome guest. There are, of course, much more advanced methods to use functions, like arrow functions. But of course, we shall be learning about this in a future video. In conclusion, functions make JavaScript programming simpler, reusable, and more efficient. Whether you're performing calculations, printing messages, or looping through numbers, functions help you write clean, organized code that's easy to maintain. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this JavaScript video, you can check out more of our JavaScript videos in this playlist. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing. Bye.